I'm excited to announce that Ilya and Delmore finally moved in together with Kareem. If you had been here since the beginning, you probably are way too familiar with my para feeling at everything in life, from failed relationships and dates to failed careers, even me failing at not screwing up the save. On the last video, she finally was able to start a relationship with Kareem. They became lovers. They had their first kiss. She even stayed at his house. But I had a tiny issue where my game was freezing up a bit every time I tried to load a lot. I think I figured out what the issue was. My memory was too full. Recording videos actually takes up a lot of space, and I don't like to delete stuff. But in this case, I had to because that actually hinders my computer's performance. So I was not able to save some progress on the last play session. When I got into the game, she was talking with Susie, which is the new para she met, and she accepted to help her. She just had to interview some other paras around town and ask them why they thought this place was home. It was 5 in the afternoon, and she just had to wait one more hour to meet up with Kareem. I knew he was gonna pop into town eventually, so I just had her collect some mushrooms and some things in front of the library. And she had some custom shoes that I had downloaded from the workshop. For some reason, they were missing. I don't know if there was an update or something. Maybe the creator deleted them, but she was barefoot. So I decided to head into the paramaker, get her some new shoes. I actually downloaded even more shoes from the workspace, but to prevent any other corruption or any other weird stuff happening, I decided to go with base game shoes to play it safe. And I actually feel the boots fit her outfit really nicely. I tried to donate more objects to the museum, and I finally figured out that if you donate an object, you cannot donate them again. You have to donate different things. So that's why it was not allowing me to donate more of the same stuff. The community center actually has places to donate as well. It has four different categories, but none of them really match the objects that I had, so I had to sell them. They did match the paintings, but I didn't actually want to get rid of them. I wanted them to have them at their house when they bought it. She kept them. Once nighttime arrived, I decided to check into town to see if Karen was actually there already, and it turns out she was. She went running to him, greeted him. They shared a passionate kiss, which was really cute, and I still had them talk a little bit, try to progress the relationship a little more. But I felt the only step for them to take now was for them to move in together. I actually wanted her to move in with him, but that's not possible in paralives yet. He can only move in with her. And that popped up as a want for her. So I went ahead and bit the bullet. And here's the kicker, he didn't actually bring any money. The merging was really anticlimactic. There was no celebration or anything that really showed how important this choice was. But he was finally part of her household. That was the perfect choice because I wanted him to be able to propose to her instead of her to him. And now when they have a conversation, there's two lines of cards, so I can choose which one of them is actually gonna make the move. They stood there talking for a bit, but then she saw Tara, which is the girl she wanted to get really close with. She interviewed her for the task with Susie, but then Tara just ignored her and kept walking after answering. I think it's because around 11 p.m., everyone seems to go back to their house, so they kind of reset. They weren't really that tired because they're not in your household, don't age up, or had any progression. And for some reason, the toilet broke, so I had him fix it, and it was actually a want that he had, as well as mopping the puddles. Actually, level one of his personality. He has 3 points of mind, 1 point for physique, 1 point for creativity, and 2 points for charisma. His vibe is actually serious, his social perk is good at cooperating, and his talent is a jack of all trades. For his lifestyle, he's a neat and has a normal schedule. After that, since it was almost 2 in the morning, it was getting really late, so I decided to have them sleep because they needed to work tomorrow, or actually that day. And now for cards, you can only choose one each night, and it would only progress for one para. So I had them receive a surprise tax refund, which actually helps because I want them to have more money in order to get a new house. Since he didn't bring any money, I don't know if they haven't worked with that or it's just part of a feature of the game to make it harder. But I'm really pissed about that because I was actually counting on him bringing money so they could move to another place. that is bigger with more rooms for their future babies. That's okay because it just gives them another goal to work toward. Now, the focus is making money. Since they want to sleep really late, Kareem actually woke up to go directly to work. He actually enters at 7 in the morning, which actually sucks because they don't have any time together during the day. The schedules are not compatible. He works from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., and she works from 11 p.m. to 7 p.m. They literally only have time at night. I was able to sleep in. And I forgot to mention, Kareem is a tour guide. We found out before. He works at the museum slash library. Works Tuesday to Saturdays, which means they only have one free day together. He's rank 1. He makes 250 paradigms per day. That's actually the currency, paradigms. I found out during the display session. He had an upgrade point after work, but he already had a perk that basically meant he finished 1 hour before with no impact to his salary. There's two things that contribute to his performance, which is mood and also art. I decided to level up his rank when he got off work, and then he needed to progress his art. Lillian also had to wake up to go directly to work, so she couldn't actually cook. And I was having this weird glitch where Karim couldn't cook. When I clicked on the fridge, it kept showing up that there was no stove or counter available. I had him go to one of the lots to get some food. I thought it was a pizzeria, but it turns out this was some sort of bar that has like 4 floors and actually has an apartment upstairs, which is really cute. I know there's a mod where you can have your own shop on your house, which I think fits this game so well, and I'm very excited. But I'm a little scared to add it to the game just in case it causes any corruption. I'm trying not to get too attached to my paras in case any updates corrupts the game or something like that. I was not able to find a way to save the paras as a household. He ate some club sandwich which cost him 20 paradigms, and I still have this weird glitch where the food is disappearing. For some reason, he decided to enter the bathroom when there was a person inside, so he got a little embarrassed. And he only knows 6 other paras in town. One of them is actually Jake, and if you have been here since the beginning, you probably remember him from the first video where Lillian had a horrible conversation with a guy that was so not into her that he was swallowed by the earth. He's actually Kareem's coworker, and I think it's perfect if they become best friends. So I had Kareem visit him at his house. They talked for a little in the bathroom because I guess that's just how guys are. And Kareem needed to go to the bathroom, so I click on the toilet. And because they were in a group setting, Jake used it first. Kareem waited outside, and then he went inside and used the bathroom too. And then they continued to have their conversation in the living room. Afterwards, they became friends and everything was going great until Kareem made the horrible mistake to tell Jake he didn't actually get a joke, and Jake didn't like that, so they lost some points, and Kareem then was actually super embarrassed. He decided to head back to the apartment, take a shower until Ilian got off work so she could cook. She got an upgrade point afterwards, so I chose the perk of slowly improving her biology skill at work, which at the time I didn't know what actually meant because I hadn't seen a biology skill in the skills panel, but I found out later why. She chose to make a group meal, and her skill is still not progressing because she's hungry. That hinders her progress so much. Both of them took a plate, and because one of the chairs is sort of for decoration and it's not actually connected to the table, they don't seem to use it, and one of them just keeps standing around eating. Also, he had a want that he wanted to have a meal with Ilian, but even though they were eating side by side, it didn't actually count for the want. So I don't know if it was a glitch or how the mechanics actually work on that, because you cannot actually choose for them to take a meal together. Afterwards, it was time for them to go to sleep. They actually went to sleep really early. It was just 8 at night, but he was feeling extremely tired, and I wanted her to get a good night's sleep so she could wake up early tomorrow and actually cook for him and her before he went off work. And I wanted to go for the social pack. This time, there were only 2 cards. One was you will learn well with others, which meant she would just get 3 plus of learning speed for the next 24 hours if she was in a group setting. And the other ones, you get a sudden romantic interest for Heian, which doesn't fit the storyline at all, so was obviously not an option. I had to choose the other card, and honestly, I don't think it would help her that much because she's never in a group setting. She's always too busy either working or sleeping. But that's what's been happening so far for Ilian at her life. I'm so happy that they're now living together, even though I expected a little bit of more to show that they actually took that step. But for now, they just have to focus on make a lot of paradigms, which they're on 3,000 now. That's good. That means soon they're gonna be able to move into another apartment or house for their future babies. I don't know if there's weddings yet on this game, but I know they can propose to each other, and I'm so happy for that next chapter in their lives. There's actually a few more surprises coming because not only did they get engaged, they actually might have lost all the money they worked for so far. You're gonna have to find out in the next video how that happened.